Hey, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in your day. A little vocab today, and we're just going to go on a piece of scrap paper or some piece of paper that you have. In fact, I was going to use a blank sheet of computer paper, but see if I can't use a piece of scrap paper to help Mother Earth a little bit. So, vocab. And the Y here is common language. I'm taking a course right now on organizational change, how to get organizations or bodies to change. And one of the big things we've been talking about is common language. Okay, and that's just a fancy way of saying we call something the same thing every time, so everybody knows what it is. All right, and maybe you see this at school. You know I see it like in our house. You know, maybe I'll call the spatula a spatula, and maybe my wife will call it a flipper thing, and maybe my son will call it flippy or something. I don't know. I'm totally just making this up. But you see the point. There could be some confusion between spatula, flipper thing, and flippy. So defining a common language, and a lot of times it doesn't really matter. Let's just call it the same thing. Maybe we choose Wills, to get him included. It's important for our organization that our son is included. So we just all start calling it Flippy. Knowing that one day, he'll eventually get here, right? So that's why vocab is important, so we all know what the heck we are talking about. All right, so let's move on to the two things, and I'm going to model problem-solving strategy, or reading strategy, really, context clues. I don't even know if that's the right word for it. I'm not an English teacher, but that's kind of how I think about it. Maybe I need to get some common language with the English department on this. So we've got inscribed in. And we have circumscribed about. Okay, so those two things, inscribed in or circumscribed about. And when I think about inscribed, and I actually ended up Googling this, but the definition it gave me was to write or carve on something, and that's how I think about it. I think about like you get an inscription in a ring. So I didn't know what this had to do with geometry. I did, but if I was playing along, I didn't really know, but I knew it was inscribed in, it's carved into, and then so that gives me some idea. Now, circumscribed, it's got a couple words here, some overlap there with circle, so I'm thinking this is something about a circle. Circumscribed about. Okay, and about to me, in obviously means inside. About is, when I think about I think about is outside. Okay. So here's the geometric examples. Inscribed in. So if we're going to say a triangle, inscribed in a circle. So the triangle is going to be, to me, in a circle. And then these are just sketches, but that's what it looks like, and it should just butt up to, but it shouldn't touch. So that's a triangle inscribed in a circle. If we say a triangle circumscribed about a circle. So all I did was change that word. I left triangle and circle in the same spot. Triangle circumscribed about a circle. So now, to me, circumscribed about is outside. So now the triangle's going to be on the outside. Yeah? Okay. And more formally, the boundaries touch but do not intersect. Okay, so let's look at another one. Circle inscribed in a triangle. Circle inscribed in a triangle. Okay, so the circle would be inside the triangle. So here's the triangle. Here is the boundaries touch but do not intersect. But if you notice, these two are the same. So there's two ways to talk about the same thing. We just moved where the circle and the triangle were. Okay, and if we do the same thing, circle circumscribed about a triangle. So it's going to be a circle outside a triangle. So we'll get that kind of situation. Alright. So that is circumscribed and inscribed. Alright, so here's the last bit. Here are 9 definitions. Center, radius, inscribed angle, chord, central angle, major arc, minor arc, diameter, circle. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We'll do a little activity with this. You go 3-minute solo. Just define, each one. Center is the middle of a circle, right? I could do that one. And please space these out. I just contracted them so you could see them. Center of the middle of a circle. Radius, define that. Inscribed angle, chord. And use your notes. There's solo notes here. And then I think I want to do 3 solo with the text. So I'll let you get your phones out, and you can, figure out the ones that you're stuck with and, maybe need a little clarity on. And then we'll do 3 as a group, and I haven't decided tech or no tech yet. We'll see how it goes. And then 6 we'll share out. So, and those are the number of minutes. So let's do that activity and define these. This will all be on the all be on the test. So that's why we're doing this. Okay, this will be on the test. All right. Thank you for your attention. Hope you are doing well. Hope this makes sense, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Be well.